I'll go in last.
Smells better in here than next to you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That was a big one. It was a big one. I think it was like salad. Well, it was like salad, probably.
I was impressed too.
Yeah, a guy from,
Which one are you thinking about doing? Oh, sure. It was neat to see what room we were at.
Yeah, we met earlier at the month.
Yeah, I just saw him.
I noticed that shirt, huh?
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you. This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, well.
I bought a whole bunch of books. I bought one of these and I have one of those at home.
Yes, I am. I'm kind of obsessed. I actually live here. Yeah.
Well, you know, when I asked you earlier, I thought, I don't know why I thought.
Yeah, I seen the Iowa thing on the back. I go,
I feel bad later.
Yeah. I probably just put myself that way, so.
You? So, like.
Try to record, but I don't know.
yeah,
Record
video.
on voice.
Oh yeah, I have audio recorder in the backpack here. So.
I brought here. I think if you
On a meter two, meter or recorder. Hold the recorder, I suppose. So it's all powered on, recording ready. So.
Okay. What do I do?
Just hold it.
Okay.
You can ask questions if you want to. So it's flashing red every once in a while. That means the recorder or just staying red. So. If you want to see what's going on, you can push that button. I'll show that's recording. So.
Your best spot's going to be downstairs in the poke room near the wine cellar. That's what we found out. That's where I had a lot of activity tonight.
Okay. At the wine cellar.
Yeah. Has everybody stopped out front and signed in and got their tickets punched?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like your hats.
Oh, thank you.
I have many hats. I'm kind of just like your.
I don't think you got as many as I've got.
I have like 4 or 5. How many do you have?
Try about 110.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous, man.
You look pretty good in the one hat, that fedora that you were.
Yeah. That's what I was looking for like this here, but not a good place to hang that. Because it's too much. Oh, I gotta need this last one.
You said most of the activity tonight's by the little wine cellar. You know?
Really?
Yeah. So. Just let you know.
You guys, meet your friends? Just double checking. Yeah. Just making sure, that's all.
You know what?
And just my eyes on silent. I'm very put on airplane mode.
There's that great.
Just a friendly reminder. That's sort of.
Oh, we got 2 of the poison.
Turned on airplane mode too, so it's all set up at EMF meter. So.
Oh, sure.
Oh, I figured that
Table
in.
and stuff? Yeah?
Do what?
Can I help you with the table?
Dad will probably never come here. Yeah. Yeah, I finally figured out how to use the Zoom.
There's usually a button at the top somewhere. So.
No, it's this. So I'm like, oh, that's too easy. Why did I have problems?
Watch
table.
out.
So we have fun with this together.
Just all over the year, people bring money in. Yeah. I'm like, you sure you want to put that much in there? And they're like, yeah, it's worth 2 dimes.
It's worth 2 dimes.
Yeah.
In American, yeah.
Yeah.
That's infrared?
Same thing.
Yeah, they signed in and then they went to the restaurant, so. It was the long course.
Price.
It's going down
Same
the
thing
long.
they used to show me. I just go home hours.
Long behind my chair.
You see that? It's on.
Everybody signed in and it's not all you.
Huh?
Everybody's decided to share.
Everybody's dead. Everyone's dead.
Everybody signed in, but
They signed in. 6. Yeah, they went to the restaurant.
Sometimes if my phone sets it up, you're not doing it today.
And then to the restaurant. No, to eat. They signed in at like 7 o'clock.
oh, okay. They signed in and then, what, recently?
Well, I just figured
No,
out,
they
Ken, I
signed
can
in,
focus
so they
my
were going
dad's
to the
camera, he loaned
3
me.
cameras,
Oh,
and I need the
cool.
other 3 signs,
Yeah, I
so they went
don't-
and got them 3.
Looks like a finger.
Okay, post it. Which one was it? You know, did you get another one? Okay.
I can look before I go. We have 2 of the lawn ones out there too, so we got this couple of That's here.
Yeah, there was 6. There was 8.
She didn't know we were.
19.
Oh, watch this, watch this. Watch this, watch this.
Here, right here. We're all.
You know how to make it wide? Do the wide angle?
Well, it took me a while
Hey.
to figure this.
Guys.
No, do the wide angle.
Bailey, Karen. I don't see Karen, Mariah.
Laying on the deck.
And I'll take care of it all.
Thank you, Trish.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
You too.
Have a good night.
All right.
Thanks for being awesome.
Okay, here, can I-
Kinda hope so.
We went up.
Stuck in here forever.
So in just a minute, I'm going to be locking the doors, well 2 minutes actually, I'll be locking the doors, but I'm not locking you in, I'm locking everybody else out. I know it's just a matter of perspective, but if anybody decides that they don't want to stay, you get scared, need to go to the bathroom, whatever, just let me know, I can unlock the doors and let you leave. We lock the doors so that when we're sitting in the dark tonight, we don't have to wonder if the noise we heard out here was somebody who wandered into the building, or if it was something paranormal. So we lock the doors so we don't have to worry about that.
Alrighty.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Susan.
Have fun. So we've got one lamp out here.
Yeah. Forget it, or we'll be standing there waiting until 9:30.
Had a couple of them. Just brought one though.
It's nice and compact.
This is stereo too, so It's kind of nice too, so you can tell which direction it's coming from.
All right, I'm gonna do a quick head count, make sure we've got everybody still here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Everybody's here. Yay! So who's excited?
I am.
Yay! All right. Keep that energy level up. The spirits do appreciate it. They kind of feed off of our energy. Gives them more energy to try to make noises for us. Use the K2 meters that we have on the tables and things like that. So welcome everybody to the Birdcage Theater's nightly guided ghost tour. My name's Trish. I'm going to be your hostess tonight. I'll be taking you through the building room by room, telling you history and paranormal stories as we go. There's no test at the end, however. You don't have to take notes. So feel free to walk around, look at things. There's no test, and get pictures rather. There's no test at the end. You don't have to take notes. I do ask that you get all the pictures that you want as we're going through the building. You can use your flash while we're walking through the building with the lights on. Once we sit down and turn off the lights, however, please turn your flash off. We want to have our eyes get a chance to adjust to the darkness. And I do recommend the next picture that you take be of this little sign I'm setting here on the bar. The email address at the bottom is where you can send pictures that you get that have orbs or apparitions in them. Our manager goes through those a couple of times a week. He's looking to see if there's something nearby that might have caused a shadow or a reflection on your image. If there's not, he'll let you know you captured something. I can't guarantee you'll see any ghosts tonight. We don't have any on our payroll. So unlike me, they don't have to show up. But there are things that we can do that will make the spirits more likely to join us. The most important thing is to keep an open mind. If you don't believe in ghosts, they could be tap dancing on the table right next to you, and you still wouldn't see them. More than likely, they wouldn't bother to dance for you. They don't have anything to prove to us. Second thing is just have fun. In the 1880s, the Birdcage was a place people went to have a good time, meet some new people, and maybe catch a show. So the more fun we have, the more likely the spirits are going to be to want to join in. So walk around, look at things, ask questions, take pictures, laugh at my jokes, and we'll be off to a really good start. At the end of the night, if you've enjoyed the tour, please let me know. Tips are always appreciated, but don't feel obligated. I'm going to start the tour with the founder of our town. That is this gentleman right up here, Mr. Ed Schifflin. Ed is the one here with the beard, not the one with the horns. That's Hamburger, but don't tell the kids. Ed was born in Pennsylvania in 1847. His family moved to Oregon when he was 10 years old, and Ed always dreamed about being a prospector. He wanted to be a prospector so badly, he ran away from home when he was 12 so that he could go prospecting. A kindly neighbor took him back to his folks, but Ed never gave up on his dream. In 1877, Ed came to Arizona to work at Camp Huachuca as an Indian scout. He spent his days searching for Apache strongholds. He spent his free time looking for rocks. Not just any rocks. Ed had a hunch that there was gold or silver in the area, and he set out to prove that hunch. The other soldiers found out what he was doing, and they said, Ed, the only thing you're going to find out in the desert is your own tombstone. Well, in 1878, Ed's hunch paid off. He found silver, and he found a whole lot of it. He named the mining claim Tombstone. It's what they told him he'd find after all. Word spread that there was silver in the area. The town quickly was built. And in 1879, the town was named Tombstone after Ed's first mining claim. Those of us who live here are forever grateful. This area was previously known by the unfortunate name of Goose Flats. I'm not sure how many people would go see a movie called Goose Flats, even if it starred Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer. In 1880, Marshal Fred White was shot right here on this very site. How many of you have seen the movie Tombstone? All right. Got it wrong. Marshal White was not an old man. He was only in his 30s when he died. But he was shot right here on our site. The building wasn't here yet. This was a vacant lot. There were some cowboys being rowdy, shooting their guns off into the air in the alleyway that was around what is now the corner of our building. Marshal White successfully disarmed several of those cowboys, but when it came time to disarm Curly Bill Broches, Curly Bill handed Marshal White the gun barrel first. Marshall White grabbed a hold of the gun, pulled it away from Curly Bill, and it went off, shooting him in the groin. He died 2 days later. Wyatt Earp witnessed this, but he didn't realize that Curly Bill had dropped the gun when it went off. So Wyatt Earp pistol whipped Curly Bill until he was unconscious, then he arrested him. Before he died, Marshall White said it was an accident. Curly Bill was so drunk that night he probably didn't even realize he still had his finger on the trigger. The gun was shown to have only been half cocked when it went off. I think Marshall White should have known better than to pull on a gun that was pointed at him.
Yeah.
Wyatt Earp at least agreed with the first two things, and so Curly Bill Brocious did not get convicted in Marshall White's death. But Curly Bill was holding a grudge against Wyatt Earp for pistol whipping him when he wasn't armed. That added a little fuel to the feud between the Earps and the Cowboys. In 1881, the Birdcage Theater was built, and it was built as a theater, but it was also a saloon, a gambling hall, and a brothel all under one roof. There were 14 Birdcage cribs upstairs, 7 of them on each side of that little bridge known as the catwalk. Our ladies would be up on that bridge, catch the eye of a gentleman down here on the floor, and for $25 they would take them up the narrow staircase across the room to be entertained. We were only open 8.5 years, but those top few steps there have been worn down to the thickness of a silver dollar by all that traffic. A gentleman looking for a lady's company did not give her $25 in cash. He would come up to the bar, give the bartender that $25, and in exchange he would receive a brothel token similar to this one, a little coin. That token would be traded to the lady of his choice for however much time and whatever services the gentleman could negotiate for the $25 fee. Are you doing video?
Yeah, is that okay?
I ask that you not video me, please. That's okay. You can do little snippets of the building, but don't videotape my entire presentation. Thank you. All right. Now at the end of their shifts, our ladies would come back down the stairs. They would trade those tokens back into the bar. For every one that they had, they received $5. Now 5 out of 25 is a really bad deal, I'll admit. But other establishments only paid their ladies 50 cents to $1 per token. So this was one of the higher paying places a woman could work. Our ladies didn't only make their money selling their bodies. They also sold alcohol and tobacco via this dumbwaiter right here. So if a gentleman was enjoying a lady's company upstairs, wanted to enjoy a glass of whiskey and a cigar, perhaps buy the lady a drink, he would have to order it here at the dumbwaiter. Now the bartender would fill the order, put the items on that little tray, and they would use the rope and pulley to hoist it upstairs. A drink that might be $1 at the bar could be 3 or 4 times that up in the cribs, because the ladies here earned a percentage of everything that they sold. The more money they got for their drink, the more money they put in their pocket. A gentleman who didn't want to pay that much could always come down the stairs, buy a drink for himself right here at the bar for $1. He would be drinking it sad and alone though, because the lady would rent the crib out to the next paying customer. The plate sitting on the back of the dumbwaiter was given to the Birdcage by a couple who got married up on our stage in 2000. That plate has sat right there for many years, but then one morning our manager came in and he found it on the floor right here next to the bar. The plate wasn't broken, the frame wasn't broken. He figured that the ghost hostess from the previous night, not me by the way, was playing a trick on him. He asked her about it when she came in, and when she said she didn't do it, they went back and they looked at our video footage. There are cameras throughout the building. In the video feed, they could see the plate lift up over the things in the front before gently landing on the ground. Now they tried to come up with a logical explanation. First thought was that it had been an earthquake. We get them here from time to time. There was a really big earthquake here in the 1880s, caused the mines to flood and shut them down. Of course, they realized pretty quickly that if an earthquake had knocked that plate out of there, it would have hit the floor much harder, and all these little dangly bits here would have been moving as well, but they weren't. One of my co-workers was doing a presentation during the daytime, just talking about the history of the building, when a water bottle on the refrigerator like mine was sitting right there, fell and hit the floor. A guest who was standing out here said the bottle didn't just fall. This woman swears she saw the bottle float straight out before it dropped to the floor. The bar sitting here is the original cherrywood bar and bar back. The diamond dust mirrors on the bar back came all the way from Paris, France. This bar was custom made for the Birdcage in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in 1881. After it was finished, the railroad wouldn't take it on as freight. They said they could not insure those very expensive diamond dust mirrors. So we opened June 17th, 1881 with a couple of whiskey barrels and boards as a makeshift bar. Well, this one had to be sailed around the Horn of South America to the port of Guaymas, Mexico. Came the rest of the way here by wagon train and was put in place right there where you see it for the grand opening December 26, 1881. Well, this is the only bar in Tombstone that is still the original bar, sitting in its original spot in its original building. This isn't where the bar was supposed to go. When the bar was ordered, the owner wanted it to sit underneath the catwalk. That way it would look like the ladies were dancing across the bar back when the ladies crossed the bridge. When the bar arrived, however, we had a little problem. We had a really big problem. Size matters in Tombstone. This bar was far too tall to sit under that bridge. Somebody had mismeasured. The owner had no choice but to nail the third set of doors shut, put it here in the corner instead. Luckily, it just fit between the door frame and the dumbwaiter. Now, in 139 years, the only marring on the bar is this one bullet hole here in the front. There is still a .45 caliber slug in that hole to this day. That happened when a cowboy who was drinking at the bar gave the bartender the wrong amount of money for his drink. He chose to argue about the cost of whiskey rather than pay up. The bartender asked the owner, Big Minnie, if she wanted him to fetch the marshal to put the cowboy out. Big Minnie said no, she didn't need the marshal, she would put that cowboy out herself. So Big Minnie picked up the cowboy. She threw him out onto the boardwalk. He landed on his backside, drew his gun, fired at her, but hit the bar instead. Big Minnie is called that because she was described as being 6 feet tall, 230 pounds of loveliness in pink tights. She was the co-owner here with her husband, Joe Bignon. She was a performer, one of the dancers, that's why she wore the pink tights. And when the need arose, she was our bouncer here as well. 6 feet tall is tall for a woman even by today's standards, but in the 1880s, the average height for a lady was only 5'1". The average height for a man was only 5'7". Big Minnie towered over the cowboys. She could easily pick them up and throw them out. The Birdcage had 16 gunfights in here. 26 people died. There are about 140 bullet holes throughout the building. Most of the bullet holes are in the theater, but we do have a few out here. Besides this one in the bar, if you look straight up, between the light fixture and the fan, that little hole there was made by a .32. We have a .45 Ricochet, and our blind folks right over there on the show bill frame. Not sure if they were aiming at one of our girls or one of the gentlemen upstairs. There is also... What's that?
Are these considered bullets?
They are not. No, there was a fixture mounted there at some point. There's a .44 caliber slug in the green wall right here, next to the lovely Fatima. Now, she danced on the stage here in 1881, bringing the art of belly dance to the United States. They didn't call it belly dancing back then. They called it the shimmy and shake or the hoochie coochie. Yep, she spread the hoochie coochie here to the United States. Now, she sent this portrait to us out of San Francisco in 1882. It's been hanging at the Birdcage ever since. If you look closely at this portrait, you might notice there are 6 toes on her foot. We don't know if she had 6 little piggies or if the artist just miscounted. Perhaps he wasn't very good at painting feet. What he was good at painting, though, the expression on that guy's face, he really is enjoying the show, isn't he? Fatima looks like she's got 2 belly buttons as well, but the bottom one there is a bullet hole. There are a total of 6 bullet holes in her canvas. And she has a knife slash in her skirt right there below her knees. That happened when a cowboy who was drinking at the bar, it's kind of how a lot of the stories around here start, he threw his knife at her from across the room. He said she was walking off the canvas toward him, and he wanted to keep her in her place. I don't know what he was drinking that night. I'm not sure how many he had had. We really can't talk about that. But we get reports from time to time from our guests who have taken photos of this portrait, only to discover a blank canvas with a white mist out in front of it in their pictures. So maybe that's what he saw that night. Over in the corner there under the stairwell, that is our polyphone. Now the polyphone is the precursor to a modern jukebox. Each disc plays one song. We have 200 of those discs. Everything from the polka to the wedding march. There is even some Christmas music. The disc in there is Silent Night, because Birdcage closed the doors on Christmas Eve, 1889. One morning, the owner came in. There was a very foul odor in the building. It smelled like somebody had died in here. He tracked the smell down to the polyphone and figured it was a mouse or rat that had gotten up in there. Took it all apart to clean it out, only to discover there was nothing dead inside. But the smell remained for about an hour before it wafted out the door. Another time, the polyphone started to play all by itself, and they couldn't get it to stop as coins fell from the ceiling above. They gathered the coins up, locked them in a drawer, and they disappeared. More recently, the Birdcage closed last year because of COVID. Everything got shut down for about 6 weeks. We came back the first week in May to get ready for our grand reopening. So we were all in here when the polyphone started playing all by itself once again. I think the spirits were just thanking us for coming back. After 6 weeks, I think they felt like we'd abandoned them. Any questions, folks?